Yo, what's good, fellas? Hope y'all's day's going great so far. Today we're just gonna do a small little recap on what happened with ES today. Going into the week, today is Wednesday, March 6th, and I was expecting sometime this week for price to retrace back down into this order block right there, this weekly order block, for a possible continuation higher. Um, so yeah, so today at the beginning I was expecting bearish prices because higher time frames hold higher power. So I always mark out the prior day's highs and lows as areas for price to target, and also session highs and lows. Those are good areas for price to always target. So mark these out. Dropped in the 4 hour, right? And around six o'clock, I was looking at the market, and I noticed this large SIBI that was made yesterday. And at around 10 o'clock is when I usually trade. So I trade from 9:50 to 12 usually. So at 10 o'clock, this candle, this candle right here, this candle closed completely, right, at 10 o'clock. And we moved on to this next 4 hour candle, right? And once this happened, I was going to the market today in the morning, and I was expecting for price to react off of this and continue lower towards this weekly order block and this prior day low. But that didn't happen. So I usually don't have a set daily bias. I usually do it off of order flow, higher time frame order flow. So what is market respecting and disrespecting, like certain PD arrays, right? So once this closed over this 4 hour SIBI, right, it was inverse. So it is now an inverse fair value gap, a 4 hour inverse fair value gap, right? So from there on, I was looking for long setups, right? So I dropped down to the 1 hour, 10 o'clock. I think, the trade. Yeah, so pretty much right here, there is a 1 hour BISI. That price left this 4 hour SIBI, and it became the inverse fair value gap, inverse back in, and also into this 1 hour fair value gap, right? Drop down a lower time frame. Looking for a trade setup around 10:15-ish, right? So right here is when I started to see the trade in the M5. Price took out this sell side right here, sell side liquidity. Stop those people out before taking a fat long, you know what I'm saying? So right here, I noticed another SIBI right here, and right here it inversed. It closed over this body right here, right? So it is now an inverse fair value gap. So price dipped back down into it, and this is, for me, this is an A plus setup. But it's pretty much an inverse fair value gap, a fair value gap, and an order block. I mean, that's a pretty dang good trade, you know what I'm saying? So fair value gap right here, and also this order block. I usually like to take my order blocks off of like when they get when price sweeps the liquidity of an order block, right? And it respects it and displaces upwards or downwards, whatever direction it was. That's what validates a order block for me. But I mean, this is just an extra confluence. It can work like this, but the most high probable order blocks is when there is a liquidity sweep involved, right? It's like right here, if there's a candle over here, right? There's a high holding buy side liquidity, right? Takes that, right? This is the next order block. This is a high probability order block, right? So this will be the order block, and price trades down into it perfectly, and this is fair value gap. So that's what I usually take my order blocks off of, but this is just also another confluence because I was pretty sure that price was going to continue upwards after closing over this 4 hour inverse fair value gap, right? So this is the trade idea. I put my trade right here, put my stop loss about 5 points, so on a 50K account, which is what I'm about to start doing. And I will trade. I'll post reviews on that too, and daily recaps for my 50K funded account for my valuation for it. But I don't go any larger stop loss over 5. So that's $250 for me, $50 per point on ES. And I always go for 2 RR. So right here, this is the low hanging fruit, and if you don't know what low hanging fruit is, it's pretty much the closest objective, the closest high or low objective from where you're taking the trade from. I mean, this can be the low hanging fruit as well, but I would just say this is low hanging fruit for me. But I couldn't take that low hanging fruit trade because that is 1.8R, so I had to target more right here. And I was pretty sure that price is going to continue upward. But I just took this. This was just a mental trade, so I didn't actually take this trade just because there was Powell testifies today, which is highly improbable news, and it's very up and down. There's not a certain direction usually, and I mean you can kind of tell. Kind of just chopped up and down, and then took out almost took out the prior day high. This is my target. Didn't take this out, and then just dropped for the rest of the day, and then that mess right there, you know, that does not look very fun. That's why I don't trade PM. But yeah, so this is my trade idea. It did take profit, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's pretty much the trade for today. See you.